Wanted to cover the truth about cancer and tell you a little bit about what their organization is trying to accomplish. I'm going to go straight into their page. For example, they're talking about how food dye can have an effect on cancer, and eating this rainbow of food can be a positive thing for different nutrient compounds that will help your body be vital and healthy. So, in the aging process, there are a few things that happen. Um, when you're eating a lot of dyed food and processed food to make it look attractive, you're actually inhibiting your gut microbiome, and in this way, your those fake compounds are causing all sorts of havoc that's untested. A lot of this stuff they're just finding out now that can actually tear away on your stomach. So there are all sorts of other effects besides actual cancer. But all this leading research on color dyes, for example, that's in a lot of food you'll find in the supermarket. Let's just go over their actual video. Let's see, can you hear me still? Yeah.
Has cancer struck fear into your heart? Have you ever felt like you're at cancer swim and that at any moment you could instantly find out that you or someone else that you love has been hit? Has it ever felt like there's no rhyme or reason? It just...
So with cancer, there's a lot of questions to why someone were to develop cancer. And the truth of the matter that humans have always had some form of cancer, but it's just so much more prevalent now. And so that can kind of give a little bit of backdrop to why that's happening. First of all, people are eating more processed foods. They're eating more processed foods. They're eating foods with many, many more ingredients. For example, when you're going to eat bread at the store, you hear about the gluten problem and all that. But did you know that the wheat has been baked or has been soaking in this thing called Roundup chemicals? And also, the other problem is that there are just so many ingredients just to make the bread look a certain way. And it's actually not necessarily what you're eating. You're eating something artificial that's put together through some scientific experiment. And to be totally honest, it's a really bit of sort of illusion, because we haven't tested all these things yet. And so, they can claim yada yada, but we actually don't know. There's so much unknown. And so to claim that you know everything is actually is not very positive either, maybe. But to be aware of it's very important. I'm just going to go over, sorry about that. I wanted to go over the truth about cancer, some of their other things they're talking about these days. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Okay, well, this is actually affiliate stuff. It's a global quest. They're saying that basically, let's see what they have to say. Okay. Basically, they're saying that to eradicate cancer in the world, there are actually methods to prevent, treat, and heal and beat the disease that medical doctors don't want you to know, because they're making a ton of money on the way they're treating cancer. Cancer costs probably the patient and their caretakers about $250,000. So it's a very, very profitable industry. And when something is that profitable, it always comes to the human notion of greed, where there are certain interests, even if it's indirect greed, certain interests involved that are problematic to the truth. That's why they created this system to prevent, treat, and eradicate cancer from your life, so that even if you don't have cancer, but maybe you know someone that had cancer, you can avoid being like them. So it's really important work they're doing. They're talking, first of all, the deception of cancer. There are all these myths out there. Then there's, the quest for cures continues. So they have a gift bundle package that you can get. I'm not going to just try to promote it. I just want to see, I want to go through it myself too. Because what's really interesting is that there are these common key characteristics of people who do get cancer. And I mean, because they can't know for sure, they're able to, a common denominator, figure this stuff out through research. Mostly they started on laboratory rats. Another thing I wanted to point out was there's a lot of hype going on with different methods, like this tube thing, or people trying different kinds of machines to eradicate cancer. There's a lot of stuff that people are charging tons and tons of money just to try, just because they have cancer. And so they're willing to try everything, even if it doesn't work. And probably they're not going to get their money back. But the deal is that when you're, the best way is to try to prevent it in the first place. And that's what no one talks about. It's like there's no urgency there. But if you know someone that has had cancer, I mean, even if it wasn't anyone in your family, you know how devastating that can be. So let's just go through their video again. I want to learn myself as well. What's going on here?
Has cancer struck fear? I do. How could I have done this to my family, to my friends? It's my fault.
So they're talking about the guilt you can feel. I mean, this whole step process, it's like kind of a course on all the elements of cancer, like the psychological, as well as feeling, when you lose hair, you feel like a different person. Well, anyways, let's continue.
Now they will live without me, emotionally, financially. The road ends here. There is no hope and no solution unless you have all the answers, unless you discover.
Well, what inspired this guy to make this method was that his father, I believe it was, died at a very young age from cancer. So that's where his inspiration is. Let's continue.
Do not have to live in fear. You can totally prevent cancer in the first place, and you can totally reverse it without harming your body, even the most aggressive and life-threatening forms of cancer. If you want to come on a...
Well, that's a bit of a far statement, to be totally honest. I would love to see his research that you totally can prevent cancer. It's like you saying that you totally can prevent Alzheimer's, because everyone knows that when you get to a certain age that, your body breaks down and it's not functioning at the same level. So I think that's a little bit of a stretch. At the same time, you have to think they're trying to market this to people. So you have to remember that, yes, it can be prevented to a large extent, because we now know that eating too much meat, too much sugar, sugar can create cancerous cells in the body. I mean, the list goes on of different kinds of processed foods um, that you'll find in any grocery store that can lead to cancer. And so, really, the importance is their training, and not to take their marketing message, that you should take it with a grain of salt, because otherwise, deceptive practice. I'm not saying they are, but they didn't put a disclaimer there. I think they should have, to be totally honest. But yeah, let's go back into the training, the sales video, I mean.
A journey across the globe to find the answers.
So anyways, he goes across the world
from the world's leading experts. Make sure
what's
that you
causing
register
cancer
for this free 9-part docuseries by entering your name and your email below. Please make sure you register today, as it's available for a limited time only.
It's been the beauty that's come from the ash heap of death and loss and sorrow.
So they have this tragic story, I think he was the one who lost his father. Yeah, but the important thing is their training, not their sob story, right? So I mean, what are we going to take from this? Okay, so there's diet, there's environmental factors, and there's a whole bunch of best practices that you can take into account. And then once you do have cancer, they have a whole training on the psychological element of having guilt, because I think a lot of people who get these sorts of problems or problems in life in general have this guilt that they can't let go of, because they know that it's burdening loved ones, and there are all these elements to this course, and it's really for anyone who wants to prevent it, which should be everyone, right? No one wants cancer. Anyone that has had cancer, anyone who is battling cancer, and anyone who might be in the early stages and is needing to get rid of it fast. So there are certain natural approaches besides chemotherapy that you can take. Besides of which, the psychological element and the most difficult stage when you're in chemotherapy or when you're going to die. But what we really want to go through is what you can do about it, and taking the right precaution and the steps, so that, because I mean that's the most important thing you can do, is preventing it, actually. So that those of you who are not having had any signs of cancer should be the first ones to enroll in this program, in fact. So see you in the other side. I was going to have some bonuses if you came with my program. Let's see if we can find some. I'm going to go into to this program. It's called PLR Products. And basically what it is it's just a whole bunch of things that's set together. Well, let's dive right in. I'm going to go in with you. Cooking healthy. Fearless You. I mean, all these you could get. What you need to do is contact me at hkgoldstein@gmail.com, and then just write me an email that you found that. Let's see if they have anything on cancer. Probably not. Digital cancer, so breast cancer website. This is if you wanted to make an affiliate site for breast cancer. If you want to do some marketing yourself and you want to promote breast cancer awareness strategy, that would be a very positive niche to go into, and I think it could also be very lucrative. I'm gonna just look up healthy home cooked meals, eating healthy with organic food. Okay, eating for a healthy life. Really cool stuff. Okay, makeup tutorials. Well, anyways, you can tell me what niche you want a book in, and I'll send it to you. Okay, for joining through my link, because ultimately the power of this program is very strong, because cancer is affecting a third of the elderly human population, if not more. It's heart disease and cancer. So those two are dominating like 80–90% of the diseases out there. And people are getting cancer earlier and earlier, and it's because of all the junk that's out there that you need to know about to survive. So see you there, and I look forward. Again, the email is hkgoldstein@gmail.com. GOLDSTEIN is my last name. Okay? See you.